To see the fully uncut version of this video, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons.
What's that like to live deliciously? Chaos reigns.
Please don't scream.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's happening? My name is Jonjo Lyons, and today I'm here to present to you my review for Flænset, aka Shredded. Written and directed by Heine Grunbaum, Shredded stars! Already saw. A man discovers his wife cheating on him and takes brutal revenge. How's it going, my devilish adulterers, desperate to deliver or receive a deep down? It's that time again. Time to check out yet another mean-spirited horror movie that you've never heard of. This week, we'll be taking a look at Shredded, a simple, tight little story about a man who catches his wife cheating and really overreacts. And there's really not that much more to say about this one. It's got quite a successful lead actor who's still working today, and the director has only ever made one short film since. You can judge for yourself whether that's a good thing or not. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you, you can see this video completely uncut and early at patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons for as little as $3 a month. That's it. Want to see the uncut videos, gain access to the Discord, and see all the Patreon exclusive full reviews that can't be on YouTube anymore? Go over there now. Also, as long-time viewers of the channel know, my short film Better Anything is currently being submitted to film festivals all around the world. We're only able to pay for those submissions with the support of the patrons, so if you do want to contribute, please consider going over to the Patreon today and helping us out. Thank you super duper very much. But anyway, I'm in the mood to witness some butchery, so let's not waste any more time. Get ready to wonder just where in the actual she got that engine part from. This is Shredded. The movie begins with a quote that reads, "I regard all men as violent, including myself." When you see the degree of violence in men, you realise that we're still just a few steps up from apes in the evolutionary scale. Sam Peckinpah. Cut to the title card and opening credits, then to this fella putting on his shirt when the woman he's with asks to get piped down again. He says he knows the woman has a husband, but it doesn't take long for him to jump back on top of her. We see this engine starting up as back with the couple. We pan up to see the woman's wedding photo. We then join the woman's husband, Jan, as he's finally able to get his car running. He jumps in and drives off as in his marital bed, his wife is getting turned out. The husband continues to have problems with his car, eventually leaving it at the roadside and walking home. He takes a second to look at the random red car in his driveway, then goes to enter the house when he hears a strange noise. The strange noise that turns out to be his wife getting ploughed. And not nicely ploughed either, he's really giving her the business. Oh, and his wife calls him a wimp, just adding insult to injury. Seeing this, Jan collapses and throws up before taking a quick lie down on the ground. He then gathers himself as inside the man gets up and looks out the window to check on his car. Jan then stands and walks off as the man inside tries to wake up the absolutely drunk wife. He starts getting dressed as we find out he also has a wife, meaning I hope they both die immediately. He then says goodbye, heads back to his car and drives away. Well, that isn't fair. Why is this character getting to drive home with empty balls, listening to music and smiling? Where are the repercussions? The man then passes someone by the side of the road so stops to help.
Hej.
Hej. Stigen går.
Ah, there we go. Thank God. That's what you get for f***ing my wife into a coma, you. The woman takes off, so Jan jumps in the driver's seat and gives chase. She then turns off into the woods, so Jan jumps out the car and follows, where we get this tense and rather beautiful chase scene. Jan manages to grab hold of the woman and gets her to calm down enough to take his hand off of her mouth. He then sticks a coat on her and they both get up when Jan looks like he's getting a bit of a headache. Jan pushes the woman away and they arrive back at the car where he dumps out the dead body of the man. They both then stare at it for a bit when Jan gives the a couple of digs. The woman has a whinge about this as Jan pops him in the back before stuffing her in the car. They then drive away in silence when the woman starts randomly screaming. Jan realises it's because his weapon is in the footwell, which he throws in the back, shutting her the f*** up. Jan again promises he won't harm her if she just calms down, then tells her they're gonna take his car, which is just up the road. He describes the car to her like she gives a shit and says it'll make her happy. He then tries to crack joke, but unsurprisingly, the woman is not very receptive. Cut to them stopping by Jan's car. He steps out to hook it up when the woman makes a run for it, but is quickly rendered unconscious. Cut to Jan trying to tow the car, but it immediately rolls off the road. He then leaves it, meaning that scene was pretty pointless. Jan finally arrives back home where he greets his loving wife. Cut to the wife all tied up as Jan ties the man's body up at the window. He then wakes his wife up, who isn't very happy to see her now dead boyfriend. Jan spits on his wife and goes outside with the shovel to take his frustrations out on the man's body. And this upsets the wife so much it gives her a nosebleed. Either that or she's hemorrhaging internally from that absolutely brutal d***ery. Jan then returns to the bedroom with the woman he found and a butcher knife, where he uses the woman's hand to hold the knife and stab his wife. I have no idea why. It just seems like it would make things more difficult, but what do I know? The woman eventually wakes up and starts screaming when Jan chucks her down and gets another one of his splitting headaches. Jan then introduces the woman to the man, suggesting he may have removed his penis. Worryingly, the conversation then turns to how beautiful and pure the woman is, and Jan the woman, which is horrible, and as you might expect, we're just gonna skip right over. All finished, Jan stands, tells the woman he loves her, and collapses into whatever the is going on here. Cut to a couple of cops sent to inspect Jan's abandoned car. One of the officers notices blood on the door handle, then jumps back in his car and tells his partner that he couldn't have gone far. They then pull up at the house with the same officer going to have a look around, leaving his partner behind. Officer 1 enters the silent home and creeps down the hall, slowly pushing into the blood-soaked bedroom. He then makes his way through the kitchen as outside Jan stalks in the background. The officer then pushes open the bathroom door to find the captive woman showering. Outside, Officer 2 gets out of his car as Officer 1 goes in for a closer look. Officer 2 drops his bottle in shock as Officer 1 puts down his only weapon. Officer 2 goes deeper into the not very shocking at all garage, finding the garden claw as Officer 1 locks the door behind him. Oh god, he's not gonna her as well, is he? Oh, anyway. Then Officer 2 gets it. First to the gut. And then to the face. Ouchie. Cut back to Officer 1 taking off his scarf as he watches the woman. He then slowly pulls open the shower curtain when Jan puts a stop to his plan. He then forces a kiss on the woman and we cut to her handcuffed as Jan cooks food. He puts on some music and has a little dance, then enters the woman's room as it becomes clear he's eating human flesh and not really enjoying it. Jan then asks the woman what she thinks of his butchery before offering her a taste of the lover's nose. She's not interested, so he stands and throws his fork at whatever's left of his wife before getting another headache. The woman then asks what his name is and he tells her. She then tells him to come and her, but Jan says he doesn't f his wife.
Jeg elsker mig en.
Ja, Jan, jeg er din kone. Og jeg vil frygtelig gerne, at du elsker med mig.
The woman agrees that she is his wife, and he agrees to make love to her, digging the key out the back of his mouth and unlocking her cuffs. The woman asks to do it on the bed this time, and he takes her over there to get things going. With Jan now distracted, the woman reaches for the butcher knife and drives it into his body. She tries to go for another hit, but Jan catches her arm and starts to strangle her. It looks like things might be over for the woman when she manages to get her hand free and drives the blade deep into Jan's chest. Yes! F you, Jan. Hit him again! Oh she actually did it! And that blood splatter looked great. Jan seemingly dies, falling onto the woman as we cut to the sunrise and the many locations of carnage around the house. Cut to the woman on the bed. She starts getting dressed when Super Lover's arm falls, giving us a little jump scare. That's when Jan, somehow still alive, rises and reaches out for the woman, who then dumps him on the floor. She picks him up, chucks him out the window, grabs some gasoline and douses him in it along with his wedding photo. The woman then sparks a cigarette and lights the it up. The woman then takes the car and drives away, stopping by Jan's car. And here she gets out, opens the engine and knows exactly what the issue is, even having a spare part randomly on her, which I don't f***ing understand. Anyway, she then drives off and the film comes to an end. The end! Well, that was pretty savage, wasn't it? Quick and savage. Also, what the f*** was going on with that ending? Shredded is a nasty little film that, even with the crazy stuff I've seen on this channel, still feels quite over the top. Whatever happened to just getting divorced, eh? Good lord. The story is simple enough when a man finding his wife cheating and losing his mind. But rather than just murdering the couple, he also finds himself a new wife and murders a couple of cops, which honestly didn't seem that necessary. Everything is pretty straightforward up until that ending. Can someone please explain to me why the woman knew exactly what the issue was with the car and why she had the spare part on her? Did I miss something? That seems to just come straight out of the blue. And she's smiling all smug like this was part of the plan. I did like how self-contained the story was, almost like a stage play, just very short and straight to the point. Its simplicity is one of my favourite things about it. Onto the characters and everyone does fine. Of course, Thomas Bo Larsen is the absolute standout as the psychotic Jan and manages to impress throughout. Josephine Akvama is also very good in the very difficult role of Jan's victim. Next is the gore and things get nice and messy here. There's some lovely blood splatter throughout the movie, plus a pretty mental shot of the wife's opened up body. I expected this one to get nastier, but I was pretty much satisfied with the gore we got. Production wise, I love the look of this movie. Just that early 2000s European cinema look. There's also some really gorgeous shots that I wasn't expecting. Other than that, we didn't have anything bad that stuck out to me. A very competent production all round. In the end, Shredded is not a movie for everyone, but certainly something to be appreciated for what it is. It could have been a lot worse, but shows some restraint, even in the very worst aspects of human nature. It's a film I can appreciate as accomplished cinema, but not one I'll be sitting down to watch again anytime soon. Remember, fellas, divorce is an option. Don't murder your wife. So that was my review for Shredded. What do you lot think? I think I like the look of this movie more than anything else. It really makes me nostalgic for similar films of that era. Can you think of any horror movies of a similar style? Let me know in the comments. You lot did amazing with the movie suggestions in the last video, so yeah, do your magic again. European early 2000s horror. The gorier the better. Can we find someone even worse than Jan? Definitely not when it comes to the skills with the garden claw, that's for sure. Speaking of which, If you want to see Jan's wife get stabbed 1 billion times completely uncut and early, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. There you can find the uncut version of this review, plus others with more stuff being added every single week. We got the uncut reviews, Patreon exclusive reviews, slasher comic breakdowns, and the Discord. And all that could be yours for as little as $3 a month. You can pledge more, I really appreciate it, as I need that extra money to submit my short film Better Anything to film festivals all over the world. We've currently been selected for 3 and have our first one coming up very, very soon, which I'm super excited for. Anyway, if you want to help out with that, patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. I really appreciate it. So that's it for another week. Like the video, leave a comment, and click subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Jonjo Lyons, and RIP Jan's wife. You are hot as f*** and absolutely desperate for a cocking. You will be missed. See you next time.